Well, this is a question which mentions something funny. It talks about ionization energy. Let's see what it says. Electromagnetic radiation of wavelength 242 nanometers is just sufficient to ionize the sodium atom. That means it gives you just sufficient energy so that electron from sodium atom can just run away. Calculate the ionization energy of sodium. That is as good as the energy of photon, right? So in kilojoules per mole, that is really impressive. We have wavelength of 242 nanometers. Now energy E is h c by lambda, right? So let's just do that. H is, and as a matter of fact, if you want, you can also find this in electron volts and then use a conversion of how much 1 electron volt per photon converts into kilojoules per mole. Matlab, 1 electron volt per photon is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules into 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 per mole. This is 1.602 into 6.023 into 10 kilojoules per mole. So 1 electron volt per photon can be converted like this also. Okay, and we remember we had a formula. This is 1 2 ka 424 upon lambda electron volts per angstrom units, right? If you remember that, it is 1 2 ka 424 upon 242 nanometers. That is, if we convert this to angstrom units, this will be 2420 angstrom units. So many electron volts, right? Fine. Let's calculate that. This is energy of 1 photon. This is per photon. And this corresponds to, if you have a multiplication factor here, we can simply multiply and get the answer, right? Let's see what is the factor. On calculation, my dears, if you see, this conversion factor comes out to be, and this is very important, 96.47 kilojoules per mole. You must remember this very clearly. This is 1 electron volt per photon. Yeah, per particle. It's not per mole. That is 96.47 kilojoules per mole. People forget Avogadro's number and give wrong answers. One has to be very careful there. And this would be around how much? 12 to the 24, it would be around 5 point something. If you just calculate, that would be 5.133 electron volts. And that would, electron volts per photon, of course. And that would correspond to, if you multiply them happily, that would be around 495 kilojoules per mole. Wow. 495 kilojoules per mole. Yes, my dears, this would be the ionization energy of sodium as per this data.